Good evening to you. 2 years after it was first announced, the controversial high-speed 2 rail link looks likely to go ahead, with ministers expected to confirm the £32 billion scheme tomorrow.
Original plans would have seen villages in Buckinghamshire and Oxfordshire bulldozed to make way for a new link between London and Birmingham. But a more environmentally friendly option now includes a tunnel through the Chilterns.
But the new proposals are still facing strong opposition. Action groups claim the scheme will shackle the country with an extra £1,700 debt for every household. Our political correspondent Phil Hornby explains.
It might be a high-speed train line, but it's been a long, slow wait for the official announcement. The go-ahead's never really been in doubt. HS2 is one of the government's big flagship policies. The detail, exactly where the route will go, which communities will be affected, what environmental safeguards there will be, that's what we're about to hear. People living along the route in Oxfordshire and Buckinghamshire who've spent the last 2 years campaigning against it are waiting with more interest than most.
The properties behind me, Victorian houses, some bigger houses further up, will be demolished. Those that are left standing will be left looking down on this railway track. It's just going to be a hideous eyesore.
And what we should be doing is investing in the road and rail infrastructure around the whole country. The sort of lines and the roads that everybody uses that's going to bring real jobs and real prosperity to this country quickly.
It will have a dreadful impact on the lives of a few. The government admit that. Their argument is HS2 will benefit the many, a vital piece of infrastructure which will help bridge the north-south divide and bring big economic benefits.
We don't think it's going to. The first leg of this project is only going to reduce the travel time between Birmingham and London by 20 minutes. We think that this is a huge waste of taxpayers' money right now, and it's likely to prove to be an ongoing taxpayer subsidy project for years to come.
All eyes this week will be on the woman who's been Transport Secretary for less than 3 months.
Well, I'll be announcing my decision on HS2 shortly, but what we do know is that we need to make sure that we've got the capacity on our railway network to stand our country in good stead for years to come. We've got too many people having to stand up, not enough people able to work, not enough people who feel like they've had a journey that wasn't totally crowded. So I think we do need that investment, and I'll be making my announcement in particular on HS2 very shortly.
The announcement, when it comes, won't be the end of the story. A special bill will need to be passed by Parliament, and that'll be a drawn-out, tortuous process. And even if all that goes to plan, the line itself won't open until 2026. Never will people have waited so long for a train.
Well, earlier we spoke to Phil Hornby and asked him if this announcement was going to be awkward for the government.
Very awkward, not least because this line charges up through Conservative strongholds, and Conservative councillors and MPs along the route have been up in arms. One cabinet minister has threatened to resign. In our region, watch out for the government minister David Lidington from Aylesbury, who's not happy. Neither is Tony Baldry, the MP for Banbury. Neither is the Buckingham MP John Bercow, but because he's the Speaker, of course, he won't have a vote. Talking of the vote, it will, as I said, be a very tortuous, drawn-out process, and MPs won't vote until probably the end of next year. The arguments against the line, of course, are well rehearsed. There's environmental damage, it's a waste of money. But all three main political parties here, Conservatives, Lib Dem and Labour, are in favour of HS2. So expect some disgruntled MPs, but expect HS2 to go ahead. And we are now pretty confident we will get the official announcement here in the Commons tomorrow afternoon.